Blossom Beauties. My name is Becca and I'm a 23-year-old Christian and vegetarian wife and mom. And here are 10 things that I wish I knew before I graduated from college. Number 1, make at least 2 relationships with college professors. So what I mean by that is have a good mentorship or friendship, if you will, or getting to know them and them getting to know you. And how you could do that is, number 1, going to their office hours. Professors always have office hours and students are not maximizing the use of time to use those office hours. Office hours can be for general advice regarding studying tips or about the material that they are teaching in class. Also asking any questions and also putting a face to your name, because professors, all they see is a name on a roster, especially depending on if it's a lecture size class or if they have many classes that they take, or if you're even in the class and it's smaller but you never say anything. They're not really able to get to know you at all. So putting a face to a name and building that sort of relationship. So when I say relationship, I'm not talking romantic. This is completely platonic and professional. Number 2, ask questions even while you're in class. If there's something that you do not know, professors really appreciate engagement. So converse with them while class is rolling. Show that you don't understand the material, because chances are if you have a question about something, all of your classmates or even most of them probably have the same exact question. But if you are really shy and introverted, or you don't feel comfortable to speak an extra question in front of the class because you're overthinking how people are going to perceive you for asking this question, or if you're anxious, whatever the case may be, then stay after. As class is ending, just go up to the professor or instructor and ask your question, and trust me, they always stay back to answer your question. And even if they have to leave while the whole class is leaving, they will definitely even wait to answer your question and take the time to give you a proper answer. The thing is, when we have questions that are unanswered and we have to feel like we have to figure it all by ourselves, that makes us more overwhelmed and makes us feel more exhausted and stressed to actually complete the assignment. So definitely ask your professor questions. And even if you don't have the time to stay behind, email them immediately after class ends. You want to show that you're very interested and that you're very engaged in the material, because if you email an hour before the assignment is due and you've had a week in advance notice, then the professor will still answer your question if they are able to see it. But if you're doing it an hour before the deadline and it's 11 p.m. and it's due at 11:59 p.m., then it's kind of hard to really reach them at that point. And you might not get your answer in time. They might answer your question in the morning, so you definitely want to answer any questions that jog your memory during that time. And also, cheat sheet, if you are taking notes in class, jot down questions you have. See if they get answered as the lecture goes on, or if someone else asks that same question. But when you jot down those questions, definitely all you have to do is either type it or write it, however way you take notes in class, and then just literally copy paste or just look at your notes and type it based on what you wrote down physically with your pencil or pen, and then send that email. Simple as that. Another thing to do is to build your relationship with that professor is to also sit close or near the front. So I won't even say sit in the first row, because there's always going to be students sitting in the first row, and even if there isn't, some people don't really want to sit in the first row. I get it. I didn't really do it either, but at least sit near the front, especially in those big lectures, because when you're in those big lectures where it's 200, 300, 400, 500 students, man, it just looks like a sea of students from the professor's angle. Now, there are some professors that are intentional and try to get to know and carve out specific details or ask specific questions to students, but oftentimes if not, they're just giving this big lecture for 45 minutes, 90 minutes, depending on how long your course or class time is. And then they just kind of stick around, and the few students that come to the front is the main ones that they consistently engage with. However, if you sit near close to the front, they're able to immediately recognize your face. Now, going into that is also not just asking questions, but also answering questions. So if you do know an answer to something, it's better yet to raise your hand and answer. Like I said, we are trying to build a relationship with professors. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this because Your professors can also serve as your mentors, and it's so good to learn from someone who's already, you know, a super adult. And what I mean by super adult is because when we're in college, we're typically on average from the ages of like 18 to 25. However, these professors more than likely are like 10 years our seniors, so they have a lot of experience adulting and being in career, and they probably have graduate or doctorate degrees, so they have a plethora of knowledge and experience to even share. And then also, it is so good to have professors as your references for jobs or to go to graduate school as well, because oftentimes graduate school or jobs will ask for at least 1 or 2 references. And references are asked so that it can show as proof as someone who has this title or who knows you can sign off and be like, yeah, the job you're applying to, that manager wants to know, like, is this person legit? Are they really a hard worker? Is their application and resume true to who they are? Or maybe they feel like on the fence about your resume and they're like, well, but let's see if she has good rapport with some other people who have credentials or credibility, or even like closer adjacent or colleagues that can also back up and vouch for this person. So that is a definite good reason. And then the last reason to build rapport with your professors, oftentimes professors have connections. They already have a network of people that they can also put you on to a job, put you on to an internship. Maybe you can shadow them depending on the type of work they do, because some professors they're not just professors full-time, they also have other full-time or other part-time jobs, and that you could also get in there, or they might know somebody else at this specific college or a different employer or company, so they can even put you on. So definitely, at least at the very minimum, try to engage with 2 professors the most that you can have references for. This video was actually pretty long. I spent a lot of time talking about professors, so I think I'm going to cut it off here and then do 9 more reasons in part 2. So definitely hit subscribe if you haven't already. We are here to blossom. We are here to flourish to our best selves. And oftentimes when we're in college, it definitely is overwhelming. It's a lot of people, a lot of information, a lot of buildings. If you're on a big campus, so it's a whole lot of. So definitely give this video a like because it's for the free ski. You don't even gotta pay nothing to like it. So I would really appreciate that. And definitely subscribe, turn on post notifications, because I'm gonna do part 2, because this video has already got long on just this first part of things I wish I knew before graduating college.
Smoking with Cody, we make it look cool, like cooler than cool, man. Bring back the beat, I ain't done with it. Yeah, you be tapping with the mob. Why? We be tapping in with God. Yeah.